In this episode of Boatfest, flybys, more flybys, and a near disaster. Oh no, he's gonna hit it. Well, good morning. I'm up here at Lake Macquarie at Rathmines for the Classic Boat Association Open Day called Boatfest. And everybody's turning up. It's going to be a good day, hopefully. Last night there was a howling gale all night, probably 20 knots all night. Some of us slept here on the boats. And it's still pretty windy today. A bit cloudy. Hopefully it's going to be a good day. Expected probably about 1,000 people to come through, you know, just to look at boats and buy boat bits, because they sell bits for boats here. Anyway, I think it's nearly breakfast time.
We have one of those.
Good breakfast, chaps.
Nothing better than bacon and egg after a night sleeping on a piece of 4B2.
The Classic Boat Association has been running the annual Boatfest for the last 11 years. It's a good chance for the locals to catch up and see what the boat shed's been up to in the last year. Since 2014, the group has restored over 60 boats and built 10 from scratch. They meet every Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and if you'd like to join, go to the website. I'll put the link below. There's always new boats being built in the shed, and they've just started a Hartley 16. Steve's Selway Fisher Ptarmigan build is coming along really nicely, but it's not the first boat Steve's built. He's also built a Taminori, the real thing, and this model, which is fantastic. The detail is incredible. It took him almost as long to build the model as it did the actual boat. And I'll go and show you the real one. It's outside. Steve, your Taminori looks beautiful. What is it with boat building? You've got the Selway Fisher Ptarmigan, you've got the Taminori. What's going on?
Well, the Taminori was, I'd always wanted to build a boat. The Taminori was just, it's so beautiful. I had to build it. I built a perfect classic boat, great row boat, great sailboat in light conditions, lousy for camping. So I've had to scale it. As Sheriff Brady said, I was going to need a bigger boat.
So how old is the Taminori?
I launched in August 2017.
And that sort of hooked you onto boat building somehow?
Well, I'd always wanted to build a boat. And, you know, I mean, you can sit at home doing nothing and wait for nice weather to sail, or you can go and build a boat.
Here's a heron for sale. Very nice looking Hartley 16. And a mirror. So Matt, you've got a Phoenix 3. Tell me about the Phoenix 3.
Finished building about last year, about this time last year. Started it in COVID, looking for a bit of a project while we were locked down, and just went from there.
Was it an easy build?
Yeah, it's really good plans to follow. Ross Lilystone's got the good plans and like a construction book that you could follow. I'd built a few other kayaks and stuff before, so but yeah, it was really good to follow. If you followed the plans, you know, religiously, it was sort of millimetre perfect. So
wow,
I didn't have to do much fairing or anything like that. So.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, it's come up good. It's a really nice boat, actually. Quite capable for a small boat.
And speaking of small, there was a great collection of models the guys have made. So thanks to Bill and the Classic Boat Association for inviting Sydney Ray to bring some of their boats along. The Boatfest is an annual event, so if you missed out this year, why not come along next year and enjoy the fun? Later that afternoon, Terry and I headed up to Myall Lakes, which is about an hour and a half further north from Lake Macquarie, to meet up with Phil and Dave. And stay up here for 2 or 3 days. It's magical, really magical, and there's no one here, it's fantastic. So yes, thank you to all those people that came up today and said hello at the Classic Boat Association Boatfest down at Rathmines at Lake Macquarie. A lot of people came up to me. Forgive me if I don't remember all your names, but thank you for watching Sailing Kate Louise, and hopefully we'll see you on the water, because there's a lot of people there saying they're building boats or restoring boats and they can't wait to join us. So we'll wait for you. Well, actually we won't, but you know what I mean. Come and join us. It's fun. My happy place. And it's not hard to see why. It's about 5:45 now, so it's been a pretty cloudy day all day. Very windy at Rathmines most of the day, and it sort of dropped about lunchtime. For dinner tonight, because I know you're all asking, I'm going to have another one of those Heinz sachets. This time it's mushroom tortellini with bacon. And some real mushrooms, kale and some peas all mixed together. Should be good. That's very tasty.
This day started when we were all going up to
Yeah, it was from
Shelley.
Yeah.
When we were all going up to Shelley.
Yeah.
And
The wind was
pretty light.
Good morning. I had a really good night's sleep last night. It was so peaceful. Really good. You can hear the cicadas now. They get loud here. It's a beautiful morning. I think they might be kayakers over there. They look like kayakers or very large swans. I should have put my glasses on, because they were actually pelicans and a very large flock of cormorants. In fact, hundreds and hundreds. They normally stay on the other lake, but obviously they've come up here for the fish. I wouldn't want to be a bait fish. And having put on a spectacular show flying over to one side of the lake, they decided to turn around and fly the other way. I don't know why. There we are, my usual scrambled eggs with cherry tomatoes and this time kale and mushrooms. Not a bad place to have breakfast either. Look at the view. So So we are here. We put in last night and just came down here. Normally we go the other way all the way up to Shelley's Beach and then sail up around here in the big lake. This time we're going to go the other way. Go around past the ferry, hopefully down here somewhere. There's lots of campsites down here. And then come back the next day. It's meant to be a northeasterly, so we should get down there alright. At some stage it's going to switch to a southeasterly, so then we should be able to get back. That's the theory. Terry's brought his stand-up paddleboard. Steady. Very good. So that's inflatable.
Yep, inflatable. The 15 PSI.
Appropriately called the Beast. Yes, the Beast.
That's why I bought it. Had my nickname on it. Yeah.
And your t-shirt's still dry, which means you haven't come off yet.
I know what I'm doing. Edit when I fall off.
So we've just left Johnson's. It's probably 3 knots or something with a few gusts. That's right, at least there's a bit of wind because it is very hot here. The wind helps cool you down a bit. It should pick up a bit later. You just have to wait and see. Yep, Misty Blue is catching us. Just rounding the port marker at the end of this lake, and there's a big hole with no wind down here. So about 12 o'clock I think. Very hot when the wind stops blowing. I think we're jibing. Been quite a challenging sail through here. Wind's swinging around all directions. Looks like there's some kayakers over there about to head off. That's Corsman's Landing. We managed to hold Terry off. He almost caught up and then he dropped back.
I don't think it's worth trying to get down to Mungo Brush.
Just having a lunch stop at Corsman's Landing. There's a good sail around this morning. The wind's a bit iffy, but it's a challenge, and it's still blowing a bit, so it's okay. We should be able to get down to the other lake, which is the idea. So Dave, you've got a Cal 14 now. This isn't the first Cal 14 you've owned. Tell me about this.
Yes, this one is definitely Cal 14 Mark II.
Right.
I came across a very cheap Cal 14 that was in some guy's paddock out around the back of Central Mangrove that needed some work, and I got for a really good price and started doing it up because the style of boat, 14 foot, a cabin so you can sleep in if you want to, and just really appealed to me. A couple of months after I'd started working on it, actually when I was selling another boat, a guy said, "Oh, there's one of those just come on the market up the bay." So I looked up there, and this was the boat that was there, which was a newer model. Already a lot of the work I was starting to do on the one I had was done. So I chickened out and said, beauty. And I bought this one.
Oh, how old is it, do you reckon?
They were made between 70 and early 80s. So, that sort of puts it in the 50-year.
Yeah.
The people I bought it from didn't do the recoating. It was someone before that, so it's probably been redone for about I think they had it for about 3 or 4 years. It hadn't been sailed for a long time, so I've had to replace all the running rigging.
Yeah.
So new stays, all shackles and stuff. And I put a new set of sails on it because the last set of sails were a bit like a potato sack. And the difference is actually phenomenal. Putting fully battened mainsail on it has really just given it that little extra kick. The other big plus is having the outboard motor mount, so you can actually get that out of the water.
Yeah.
That's good. But no, a lot of work still to do, particularly inside. Make it comfortable. I'm sort of sleeping on a lilo on the floor at the moment. But
And are you sleeping?
I slept all right last time. I think the mozzies were the biggest issue, not the comfort of the bed.
Yeah.
The other plus about it is that it's got its own. It's got a full-length keel as well as a centreboard, but the keel's got about 100 kilos of black sand, so rutile in it.
Oh.
It just makes it a really stable boat.
Yeah.
After coming from, I had my lovely little Tammy Norrie, which was as fickle as buggery. This is just a much more sedate, enjoyable experience to sail.
Oh dear. Phil dropped his lunch. Big mistake.
I like Vegemite.
Dave, I noticed it's called Reefed. What's the story behind Reefed?
He loses his head.
Oh, that just missed the camera as well. Oh, that's close. Yeah.
The story on Reefed is basically I have 5 grandchildren. Riley, Emmett, Elsie, Flynn and Darcy. So we just played around with letters until we could figure out a name, and Reefed actually seemed quite suitable.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, and then my very clever daughter, who's a graphic designer, just made up the graphic for us, and we got it printed. So
very good.
And that's one of the reasons to have the boat, is to get grandkids out learning to sail.
Yeah.
So, as soon as they're of the age and can get in the water, that's where they'll be.
So that was a nice lunch stop there at Corsman's Landing. Just negotiated the channel because there's 2 large sandbanks on either side here, so we just managed to get through that. And now we're heading down towards the ferry, or Leggy's Camp it's known as, Leg's Camp. Wind's definitely picked up. It's got to be 8 knots now, something like that. But yeah, going along nicely. I'm glad you know what you're doing. Get into your home life.
So fast approaching the starboard marker, doing a healthy 5 knots, Terry decides to take down his whisker pole. And not realising just how close he was, it was almost a disaster. His whisker pole went into the water, but I managed to pick it up when I came past. Terry, I think that's what's called living on the edge.
Trying to negotiate through this narrow gap from one lake to the other where the ferry goes. And the wind's a bit dubious in here, so I have put the outboard back in, just in case. We've decided there's no wind and the actual channel is quite narrow, so it's sensible to put the outboards on. So we made it through the ferry narrows. This is the bottom lake, and Mungo Brush is way down there. The ferry goes across that narrow gap. The ferry's been shut for months while they've been doing maintenance on it. I think it was damaged during the storms. Anyway, it seems to be operating now, so only goes in the half hour though, so you've got to time your crossing pretty well. Way down there behind the trees is Narong, which is the nearest place to get off the highway into Myall Lakes. And there's a Rivermouth campsite around the corner. And over here is Leggy's Camp, which has always been a holiday resort, but it gets flooded quite badly when Myall Lake floods.
We decided there was too much wind down here on the bottom lake, so we turned around and headed back towards freshwater, where we'd stay the night. And don't miss the next part of this adventure on Myall Lake, where we discover a renovator's delight and a dingo discovers us.
Fresh dingo footprints.
That's next time.